Welcome on in for today's college football pick video play for December 31st, 2018. In this one, going to be talking about this bowl matchup between the Michigan State Spartans and the Oregon Ducks. Going to give our lean on where we see the better value against the spread. The Ducks coming in as slight favorites, giving about 2 points. If you're interested in getting all of our picks for today's action, you can check those out over at stumpthespread.com. So it's been a disappointing year for the Michigan State Spartans, just 7-5 overall. They went 5-4 in the Big Ten, and really, this is just a team that was never able to consistently find their footing, and they've also had issues with injuries throughout the course of the regular season, and they're not going to be coming into this bowl game at full strength either. And the Spartans, it's just a really interesting situation. It seems whenever they go into a season with very high expectations, they fall out of the top 25 or struggle with consistency, but then they have these years where they come into the season either at the back end of the top 25 or not even ranked, and then they go on to have just a tremendous campaign. So I'm not exactly sure what it is with this particular squad and the expectations that are set from them coming into a year. But the Spartans, again, this year, high expectations, coming up short of those, finishing more around the mid-tier of the Big Ten East Division. Now, the Spartans close things out, not looking great. Their final two regular season games, losing at Nebraska by a final of 6-9, and then in their last outing at home, barely getting past Rutgers by a final of 14-10. And those offensive struggles could possibly rear their head in this matchup against Oregon. On the season, the Spartans are averaging less than 20 points per game, which is definitely a concern. Their defense has continued to be solid, even when they've been playing shorthanded, though, but they're giving up around 18 points per game on the year. Now, they're taking on the Oregon Ducks, and we really like how this team closed out the final month of the regular season, winning 3 out of their last 4 games. Their only loss during this stretch coming in a competitive matchup against Utah, who was the South Division winners in the Pac-12. Their final regular season game on the road against rival Oregon State, who clearly didn't have a great year, but the Ducks still very impressive in that one, winning by a final of 55-15, and then also during the stretch, taking down a decent Arizona State opponent, as well as blowing out UCLA in a nice 21-point win there. Justin Herbert has decided to come back, and that perhaps could lift the spirits of this program a bit coming into this bowl game and working their way into the offseason with perhaps some elevated expectations. In terms of their offensive numbers, Oregon has been vastly superior in comparison to the Spartans. They're averaging over 37 points per game, but they're also a step worse on the defensive side of the ball, giving up around 27 points per game. But we feel like the offensive advantage that Oregon brings into this matchup will be enough to get them over the line and win by enough to cover this small 2-point spread. So again, guys, siding with Oregon, giving those 2 points as the better value bet. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. You can check out all of our picks for today's action over at stumpthespread.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for future videos.